Hello, everybody on the replay. Yes, it is 7 o'clock. This live is 7 o'clock today. I am early because um, my hubby is working. And so he's got to go to bed early because he's got to go to work early tomorrow. And it's a big day for him tomorrow at work because it's Super Bowl. Which I was just telling him, usually every year I make food for Super Bowl. But since Ian's at work tomorrow, I thought I didn't have to make anything for Super Bowl. But I still had to make stuff for Super Bowl, even though it's not here. So I just made him a pot of chili. And after this live, I have to make a crab dip. So, and I literally just got out of the shower. Like I walked away from the kitchen at 20 after 6, I think it was. And I had to have a shower. So that's why my hair is wet. And I'm looking like a stroll on Bond Street. Hi, Miss Tracy. How are you? Happy Saturday. So yeah, I just got out of the shower. I finished making a pot of chili so Ian can take to work tomorrow for Super Bowl. And after this live, I have to go and make my crab dip for Super Bowl. So it's chili for dinner. I'm good, love. How are you? Did you rest up today? Okay, let me pull this up on the phone. I know Andrea's not going to be here. She's out celebrating her birthday. Oh, what a terrible picture that was. You cleaned and you did laundry. You didn't rest up. Oh, I didn't. I got my laundry done. 12 loads I folded and put away last night. So I got that done. And then I slept in today. And I think I was watching refugee videos on YouTube. There's this guy. It's pretty interesting, actually. He was showing this video of the Vietnamese refugees. 12 loads, I know, right? 12 loads of laundry is what I did. I haven't done laundry in 2 weeks, so that was 12 loads. And that wasn't even like all the blankets. Yeah, I think it was just my bed sheets. That wasn't even all the blankets, so I didn't even get to the rest of the blankets this week. So I was watching this documentary. Well, not really a documentary. This young Vietnamese guy, who I believe he lives in the USA. His family must have came over from Vietnam. Anyways, when a lot of people from Vietnam had escaped the war, right? Because it was just, a brutal place to be, back in the 60s and the 70s. And I'm sure it's still, some places are very poor, right? And it was fascinating because he was this guy was called a boat person. So you know how a lot of refugees escape on boats, to go to a better country kind of thing. I mean, that still happens today, right? So anyways, this young kid of 10 years old, his father put him on a boat and said he was going to a better world kind of thing. And he wasn't really close with his father because his father left his mother and sister and married another woman, went to the city. So his life with his mom and his sister, they were very, very poor, right? It was like a struggle like there was days they went without food. It was such a sad story, right? So anyways, he got on this boat. I mean, 10 years old, don't know a thing, don't know where he's going. His mother didn't know that his father put him on this boat, right? So he didn't even get a chance, like he didn't say goodbye to his mom. His mom had no idea until I guess the father said, oh yeah, I put him on a boat. And they already knew that a lot of these people who would escape Vietnam on the boat, like a lot of these boats would capsize and they were dead, never to be heard of from after, right? So anyways, he took a chance on his kid's life, but in the long run, it was if he survives, he'll have a better life kind of thing. Anyways, he said on this boat, he met a couple of guys, young kids as well, whose parents did the same thing. And the boat twice ran out of gas, there wasn't enough food. Thought they were going to either starve to death or just die because they were stuck on the water, or die if there was a storm. Anyways, they made it to Hong Kong, And in Hong Kong, there was a refugee camp. So, and he made like three other friends. So there was four of them all together, really, really close people, right? These four young boys. And he was at the refugee camp for 6 months, and then he got adopted out to a family in the U.S. Another one was there for 10 months. I think somebody was there for 9 months and one for 12, something like that. But the other three guys all got adopted out, right? And so this guy does these videos where he reunites mostly people from Vietnam who escaped during the war, and he tries to find their family, right? So, anyways, he was making the video, and it was called, he's a boat kid kind of thing. So, the video goes on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, the guy who made the video gets a phone call from this guy going, because he showed pictures of the three boys at the refugee camp. And he's like, oh my God, that's me. And that's my friend Nam. And it was, anyway, there's like 3 or 4 videos where somebody else, the other friend was like, oh my God, that's me in the picture. And these guys haven't seen each other for like 45 years. I'm bawling my eyes out all day watching these videos. I swear to God. Sometimes these videos are not good for the eyes and the skin, because I think I get more crow's feet every time I watch these long lost family videos. But it was just a fascinating story. And then a lot of the video was showing him going back to Vietnam, meeting his mom again. And he said when he first went back to Vietnam, like, I don't know, it was 20 years later or something like that, and met up with his mom and his sister, they were still living in the same house. And he goes, it was like and here he was with this beautiful family from the U.S. I mean, he's like, they made me who I am kind of thing. He loves his adopted family. And he was raised to not want anything, right? Work hard, got a great education, very successful man. And then he goes back to realizing that his sister and mother are still living in the same conditions that they were living in when he left. So, anyways, he took his mom and his sister out of there, got them a new house, and he goes back often to see them, like they're just one big family now, right? And I thought, he's like, it's my job to take care of my mom and my sister, like, and he said he just cried. He was, when he first went back and realized that, wow, nothing's changed here, he shook. He was crying and shaking that whole day, because he realized what a different life we lead, right? And it's insane. I watch all these different countries. I'm into watching videos about different countries now, like, because most of them we'll never get to in our lifetime, right? And it's crazy sometimes when you see these videos, and I'm like that's right now. Like, that video was taken yesterday, and people in this world are living like this. It blows my mind. And I think what blows my mind is some of these countries have been around for thousands of years, and people live that way. It blows. It's amazing. Like the U.S. and Canada, it's not very old countries, right? Like, I know we had our Aboriginals here before, the white man came over. Same thing with the U.S. But it's like, why is it that we're able to, have more, and these countries that were, have had humans for thousands of years, and you see how they live? It's insane. I'm thinking maybe, overpopulation. Okay, I gotta see who's here. It was a good show to watch, yes, and a sad story. You're watching a new one on Netflix, another true crime story. Oh, what's the name of that, Tracy? I love true crime. Hi, Miss Jen Button. You're a crier too? Oh, I'm telling you, I'm bawling my eyes. I was watching something the other day, and Ian looked at me, and I was bawling, I was sobbing. Like, when you get into that cry where you're like, like that? I was sobbing watching this show the other day. I think it was about a young girl who found her father or something like that. It's sad to see how other people live through. I know, right? Inventing Anna. Oh, okay. I'll have a look at it. But, yeah, I rarely watch a beauty video. There's a couple that, like, oh my God, what's her name? She does The PR unboxings on Saturdays. I usually watch her a lot. My God, that's awful. I can't remember her name. I watched her this morning. Anyway, every Saturday she usually does a her like PR unboxings kind of thing. Shows you what is coming out next week or whatever, right? So I usually watch her, and yeah, there's not a lot of like I don't know, beauty videos that I watch anymore. It's usually about other countries. It is a short mini series. I need to put on some foundation. This is like my first shower in 2 days. I didn't shower yesterday. I've gotten tracking for Look Fantastic now. I got tracking a couple days ago for Look Fantastic. My Ipsy Plus, it's in Canada, so I should be able to get that on Monday. And I got tracking for my regular Ipsy bag that comes to Canada. I got my Tribe tracking, like, I don't know, back in January, but I don't think that's been taken out of the skid. I don't think they've been taken out to skid yet at the post office. So I've gotten tracking for a few boxes. You love watching documentaries about other countries. Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's just, because like we're all human, and there's a lot of crazy things that's happened, you know what I mean? Like there's another one. My hair is soaking wet, that's why I'm doing this. Um oh my God, it was an adoption that happened, kids in Romania. And this girl went back to find her mom. And it was just so sad because they showed pictures, and the adopted mother talked about what it was like when she walked into that orphanage in Romania. And she said it was just, the conditions were awful. You know, the kids, they were skinny, they were sick, they were dirty, smelled, and it was just such a tiny place, but they had so many children in there, like babies to like 5, 6 years old. It's just, I don't know. I think we're lucky to be here. You got tracking for Look Fantastic, but not for Glossy. They took their money though. Glossy is always late. I find it rare when I was getting Glossy Box. I haven't resubbed yet. It was rare for me to get a Glossy Box tracking after like the 18th or before the 18th of the month. Usually between like the 17th and the 22nd or 3rd, you always got tracking for Glossy Box. Sad to see how women are treated in different countries. Oh, I know, right? Oh, I know. That bothers me. Really bothers me. And like I said, these countries have been around for ever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get bothered by that too. I really do. Little girls. I was watching one the other day, and it was a country in Africa somewhere, and this tribe believed that, which I'm like, okay, I'm in. But they believed that girls weren't pretty unless they were fat, and they couldn't get a husband unless they were fat. So when they hit like, I mean, 10 or 11, something like that, they would leave their little hut and then go out in the country somewhere with their aunts and their mothers and, whatever little young girl was in that tribe, and literally force feed them all this stuff that had extra calories to get them fat. And the woman who was doing a documentary, she's like, okay, for this one day, I'm going to try to eat everything that these little 10-year-old girls are forced to eat. And she was like halfway through the day, she couldn't even make it to lunch. She was sick, like legit sick. She's like, I can't do it. I feel sick. I want to throw up. Like, I just don't feel good, right? And there was a little girl lying down there who was only maybe about 8 years old. And she was like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And oh my God, but it was what they believe. Oh, terrible. But if she gets fat, she'll get a husband in a couple of years. I'm like, she's 8. Who are you marrying her to? But there's a lot of places like that in the world still today, right? It blows my mind. And the thing is, with internet now, because I mean, I know like 20, 30 years ago, a lot of people in different parts of the world probably didn't know what was going on in other parts of the world, right? But with internet, Like maybe the tribes people don't have internet, but somebody in these countries do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they can, maybe go, well, wait, maybe that's not okay. Even in Morocco, I was watching another documentary, and there's this big ceremony these tribes people have, like a marriage ceremony. They all get together once a year. There's like vendors and like a farmer's market, but it's a big thing with this tribe, right? And the Moroccan government made it illegal, finally, in the last couple of years, that girls couldn't get married until they were 18. Because before then, it was like, okay, well, this man likes this girl, and here's, a goat, and we'll take her, and now she's my wife, and she's 10 years old. You know what I mean? And I was watching it, but even the Moroccan government, there was a girl, she was 12 or 13, and the man who wanted to marry her was 32. And they went to the government and they said, well, okay, with her parents' permission, she can become your wife. And so parents were like, okay. So he paid the parents the money, and that little girl is like seen going, yeah, I don't want this to happen, but what she got to say, right? And that's in Morocco. And I'm like, they have royalty and all that kind of stuff. The rich like to go there. That's insane, right? Crazy. Okay, hold on. I got to see what's going on. Glossy does have a 25% off. Oh, yeah, I seen that. I'm really not into, because, like, I don't want to get the box unless I know I'm going to use most of the stuff in it. And you know what I'm like, so I haven't resubscribed yet. You watch another show on Netflix on how they recruit women into the sex trade. Yeah, you're crying through that show. Oh, I know, it's brutal, right? Hi, Miss Sylvie. How are you? You thought today was Friday? Oh, girl, I couldn't even, because I know I had said last that I was going to go live on Friday, but man, yesterday was an absolute write-off for me. I was so exhausted. By the time workday was done, I was so exhausted and I had so much to do. And I'm like, I just couldn't do it. Thank you, Miss Sylvie. Don't forget to hit the like button. You think, not sure. They do censor what some people can see on the internet. Yeah, that's true, too. That is true, too. You're right. They do censor it. So they don't know how much better life could be. Yeah, that's right. Because I believe every country can censor what people see. You gonna grab a drink? Yeah, I'm thirsty, too. This is just pop. So I broke another glass today. These are my favorite glasses. I get them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. And I had 6 or 7 or 8, and now I'm down to 4. I broke another glass today. Hi, Miss Lorinda. So I haven't even been on, was I even on a Facebook page today? I don't even know if I was on Facebook today. You need some of those glasses. I love them. Dollar Tree. So this one looks kind of tinted, but you can get it white as well. $1.25. It takes a full can of pop and about 6 ice cubes. But they're my absolute favorite glasses. I actually love the Dollar Tree and the Dollar Store have some really nice plates and bowls and glasses. Every time I go in there, I'm always like, maybe I should pick up a set of, new bowls or new plates. Because I swear to God, my plates are probably, oh my God, 15 years old. I have a set of, I think it was like 4 big plates, 4 small plates, 4 little tea plates, and you got 4 bowls that came with it. I swear to God, I had those sets of plates 16 years ago. Because it was new when Ian and I first, I think, moved in together or something like that. We had bought a new set of dinnerware, right? 16 years old, I need new plates. And I'm telling you, the dollar store's got some really good stuff. Your hubby, oh, hi, Cosmic. Your hubby and you're off to IKEA tomorrow. You have a Dollar Tree just up the street. You might stop in for IKEA. Oh, I love the Dollar Tree. What are you getting at IKEA? You almost forgot about chat tonight. Yeah, I was thinking when I first came on going, I wonder if anyone's going to remember because, you know, it's 7. Most people will probably remember at 8 o'clock, right? Um, I want to put on, oh, I got my color pop back. So I remember I was saying in my previous videos that I always bring a new foundation to bowling for my bowling partner Lorraine to try. So I couldn't remember which was the last foundation I gave her like way before Christmas. And then bowling got canceled obviously because of COVID. And I'm in a league, right? We go every Thursday. So when I seen her on Thursday and I bowled like crap, let me tell you, bowled like crap. I think I had one game where I got my average, one less than 100. My average is like 123 at bowling. So I didn't bowl that well at all. But this is the one that she had. And she's like, I really like this foundation. I'm like, okay. So she takes a picture every time I give her a new one. And she liked this one. She's tried the Givenchy, I think I have. She liked it, but she wanted something more neutral because my Givenchy is a cool. So this week I brought her the L'Oreal Age Rewind Serum. So then when I see her on Thursday, I'm thinking I'm going to get her to try the Wonder Beauty foundation that I have. Because I'm like, you know, we're the same skin tone, everything, right? So that way she could, you know, figure out what kind she likes and then purchase it for herself kind of thing. Because she was using like a Mary Kay foundation for years. And, you know, as we get older, our face changes. And it was just making her skin look really dry. And yeah, so we were talking about different foundations at bowling. And I'm like, why don't I just bring a bottle of mine every week? And then you can try it out and see what you like and what you don't like, you know? And then she was like on Thursday feeling so bad. Oh my God, I've had your foundation since before Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, my other 20 bottles really suffered, right? You don't have to feel bad. I'm reading. You can shut the door if you want to, Johnny. Thank you. Johnny, did you eat the chili? Okay. Storage bins, plants, plant pots, and looking for a shelf. Cool. Wow, you came, you said hello, and then everything stopped working. Oh no, is it working again? Thank you, Miss Lorinda. My darling, how are you, Miss Lorinda? Oh, I like this foundation. This is the hydrating foundation from ColourPop. I will. I'll say hello to him. He just came and shut the door. I guess I'm talking too loud. And I figure hockey is on now, so they're out there watching hockey. Ian just got back. He just dropped off his best friend at the airport because he's going back home for 3 weeks. He's going back to Trinidad. So Ian just dropped him off at the airport, which is so weird. So weird that Super Bowl is not going to be here tomorrow, and only because Ian screwed up his dates when he picked his holidays. But I still had to cook for it. Crazy. So what did everyone have for dinner? I made a big pot of chili, so that's what dinner is, and Ian's going to take the rest of it to work tomorrow. Besides, it's probably just me and... Well, I don't know. The kids might eat it now. Savannah actually is eating burgers now, everybody. She still won't touch chicken, though. And then you probably didn't hear me, but when I get off the live, I have to make a crab dip. All right, Miss Huda Booty. So I'm making what we call a Newfoundland crab dip. Same old, Miss Lorinda. You're good now, Cosmic? Yeah, that was weird. You've been trying to go through the house and organize, declutter. Oh, good for you, Tracy. When you're done, come to mine. I need somebody to wash my walls. You just had leftovers, but you made a lasagna for tomorrow? Good stuff. I love lasagna. I made lasagna a couple weeks ago. I feel like I got a hair on my lip. No, can't see it. I made it a couple weeks ago, and I don't know. I didn't really like it. I feel like lately my cooking has been terrible. Like I've been making all this your stuff, but I don't like it. You know, like it's weird. I'm going, I don't know what's going on. My cooking hasn't been that great lately or something. But I went to the Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago because I had all these different packs of spices in my spice drawer, and it was just an absolute mess when you opened up my spice. You know, when you go buy the packs of spices in the little baggies, right? So I went to the Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago, and I grabbed little bottles. So I arranged most of those a day. I took out my spice drawer. I think there was like soy sauce spilled in the bottom of my spice drawer for maybe a year. So I took that out and cleaned all that up. Um, and then poured the spices in the bottles and I put labels on it. Just little tiny bottles, right? It was perfect. So I got all my spices arranged. But there's still some spices, like I have a lot of spices. I love spices. Like when when you get a recipe or you see something that looks great and then it calls for something and you don't have it, like that really bothers me. So every time we go to the grocery store, I always try to pick up a new spice that I don't have. Like I have cream of tartar. And I know I've heard Gordon Ramsay use cream of tartar in some of his recipes. But I don't know what it's for. Has anyone ever used cream of tartar? And there was another recipe I made a while ago, and I needed celery, uh, celery something, just celery seed or something like that. Um, so I picked that up. Cream of tartar is usually in desserts. Okay, what is like what is it? I don't know what it is. Chicken, broccoli, linguine. Yummy. You make a good lasagna? You love pasta? I'd love to learn how to make homemade pasta. I would love a homemade pasta maker. It's just, where do you find time? You know what I mean? To make homemade pasta. I wouldn't have time for that, right? I would love to make homemade pasta. And when you look at the videos of people making homemade pasta, it don't look that hard. But I mean, where do you find time to do that? Because I wouldn't have time right now. Oh, and then I was watching another show that they're selling houses in Italy for €1. Did you guys know that? So they started before COVID. They just started it back up again, but it's €2 now. And the houses are out in the countryside. Like there's a lot of these little villages um, that are just dwindling away, right? Because, everyone's kids left and went to the city and just abandoned these houses. Now, a lot of these houses need a lot of work, like a lot of work, right? But I was watching this show and this couple went and bought this house, and the way the show worked, it said, okay, so you buy it for a euro, the house for €1, right? Then you have to pay like $400 taxes, and you have it down for some reason of 5 grand, but you get that back, and they give you like a year to start work, and you got 3 years to finish the house. And what they want you to do is to like live there, bring business to these little beautiful little towns in Italy, right? And I'm like, let's go buy a house until I, watch more of the video. And then it's probably going to cost about $60,000 cheapest in renovations. And the hard thing is that there's no like Home Depot around the corner, right? So it takes a while to get your renovations and all your, the stuff that you need. And then and then maybe another $10,000 to travel back and forth, depending on where you live. And I'm like, man, if I had the money, I would be all in on a $2 euro house in Italy somewhere in the countryside. I mean, how amazing would that be, right? Italy is gorgeous. I would love to go to Italy. Has anyone ever been to Italy? Your dear grandmother used to roll and cut her own pasta, Jen Button. She was 100% Italian. Oh my God, I bet you got some amazing recipes. You're having chicken tacos from Costco. You used to make lasagna pasta with pierogies dough. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. You heard about that in Italy. They're trying to build up their communities. Yeah. So you do, I mean, it's not just like you can buy a house for €1 and yay, go move in, right? There's a lot of work that needs to be done to these houses. But I'm telling you, if I had the coin, I would be all over it. Because this girl, I believe she was in England. So she's like, so she called her husband up and was like, okay, so I just bought this house in Italy, And then she said, when you think about it, though, this is going to be their like summer home or their family home kind of thing and their retirement home, right? And she said, even with the renovations and the time and the money that's going to go into it, it's going to be $900,000 cheaper than if we went to go buy a summer home kind of thing in Italy in one of these gorgeous towns, right? And I'm like, oh, I would love to. Stabilizes meringues and adds fluffiness to certain baked goods. Okay. It's on your wish list. I know. It's so beautiful. Another place too I was watching videos on was Cambodia. The scenery is just beautiful in Cambodia. Like, it is a gorgeous country. I'd love to go to Asia, but I'd love to go to the countryside. I don't think I'd like to be in the cities because they are so overly populated. But the countryside, even China, that girl, Diang Zhu, who makes her videos, I love her videos. And the countryside where she lives, I think it's in Yunnan. I know I mentioned this before in China, but it is stunning. Beautiful. Cambodia, I know, gorgeous places. Love to move where it's warm. Warm, Sylvie, you're singing my song. Flip-flops all day, right? Same. You have a friend that was living in Italy and just moved to Paris? Yeah, beautiful. Just when I'm like, just on a little countryside where there's fresh water, you know what I mean? Um, as like, a retirement home. You hadn't, oh, Cosmic, you put something up and I went to go read it and then you took it away. If everybody had a choice, so if you were able to, not a choice, but if you were able to, and someone said, okay, I'm going to give you $1 million for you to go anywhere in the world and find your like retirement home or summer home, where would you go? You want to live somewhere where you can just wear jeans and a cardigan year round. See, I need a little bit more warmer than that. A sundress all year round, I'm in. That's what I want. But not to like sweat, right? Jeans and a cardigan, no, I still find it cold. But if it were not hot, like 25 degrees all year round, maybe a couple days it might be like 28, but 25 degrees all year round, beautiful. Thailand, oh, Thailand is gorgeous. Stockholm, Sweden for Tracy. Yeah, these countries are just, I'm like, we're here in Canada, where it's cold and snow, even though Sweden gets snow, right? Scotland for Lorinda. Scotland is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I was watching a video the other day and Ian and I were talking how beautiful and green Scotland was. All these places with history, I mean, it's crazy. I guess it's because, our countries aren't that old. I mean, we got history, but, when you think of other countries and you can walk down the street and there's, a building or some part of a building that, was built 5,000 years ago, it's insane. I want to have one of those metal detectors to go around all of these old places. Scotland for Cosmic as well, though you do love the desert. Jen Button said, anywhere south of Michigan, it's snowing again. Is it, Jen? I'd love to go to, I want to go visit Georgia and like stay in Georgia because I think we spent a night in Georgia at a hotel, like driving to Florida. So we just pulled into the hotel, went to sleep, got up early the next morning, and drove off to Florida, right? I'd love to see Georgia, to really get in and see Georgia. And I'd love to see New Orleans. I would love to go to New Orleans. And I don't think I want to go during Mardi Gras or anything like that. But I'd love to go to New Orleans. New Orleans in Georgia. Your daughter has a friend that lives in Belgium, and she's come here to stay with you 3 times now. And she thinks Canada is the place to be. Isn't that amazing? It's snowing, Jen, or Lorinda. I haven't even looked outside today, so I couldn't even tell you what it's like outside. I haven't been outside my house since, well, Thursday when we went to bowling. And it's Saturday, and I probably won't step out no more now until Monday or Tuesday because I have to go to the office. I have to go pick up my bag at the Shipsy, pick up my Ipsy bag at Shipsy, go to my office, and I got to go do the Sephora mission. So I haven't given a date for that yet, so I have to go do that. On and off all day? Okay. Well, I guess it's snowing. Lorinda knows. She's just down the street. Lorinda, you're just down the street from me. Where's my chummy digger? What did I do with that? I'm talking about, there it is, my freaking Laritzi. I need to get a new cream bronzer. I mean, it's just shocking that I'm still using this damn Laritzi. It's shocking. I need a new one. But I want to show that, this thingy here. You wanted to ask, do I like my Topbox subscription? You would love to go down south. Everyone loves to deep fry down there. Oh, I love deep fried food. I would love that too, Sylvia. I love fried chicken. Fried chicken and crab legs are like, that's my food right there. Fried chicken and crab legs, that's my food. Yeah, I love it down south. Memphis is nice, Jan Button said. All of Tennessee is beautiful. Ooh, Tennessee. So, what part is that on? I'm like, where is that in the U.S.? Because when I think of how to get places in the U.S., I always think of, did we drive past it on the way to Florida or on the way to Georgia? That's not, no, I didn't stay in South Carolina. We went there. We went to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. It's cold in Ottawa. Yeah. Ottawa gets it really cold. Montana, because of Yellowstone Park. Montana looks gorgeous. Colorado looks gorgeous. You know, I've never had like, I know a lot of people want to go New York, but I've never, New York, okay, I'd like to visit it once in my lifetime, but it isn't like at the top priority on my bucket list. 2 of your favorite YouTubers are in Tennessee. Oh, there's another one too. Oh my God. Nashville. Yes, Nashville, Tennessee. I know a lot of people always want to go to Nashville, Tennessee. I think my aunt went to visit Nashville. New York is gross, Jen Button said. Yeah, it's not like one day I'd like to go to say I was in New York, but to me, I kind of think New York is like Toronto kind of thing. It's just a big city with big tall buildings. You know, that's how New York seems to me, just big with big tall buildings like Toronto kind of. You know, I'd love to be like that. Yes, there's history in New York. But places that's got beautiful countrysides, right? Cosmic loves going to New York. You would like to spend Christmas once in New York, Tracy said. Hi, Jody Lynn. Jody Lynn, we're talking about if you can retire anywhere and have your little, retirement home or summer home or whatever, where would it be? And what places are on your bucket list? Top three places is on your bucket list that you would love to travel before we, you know, hit the bus. New York and New York City are two different planets. Right? That's what you're saying, right? New York and New York City are two different planets. Yeah, I guess it's like, downtown Toronto compared to where I live. So like, um, 5 minute drive from where I am is considered Toronto kind of thing, right? Like I live 5 minutes away from the Toronto airport. Manhattan is nice. Everything else is dirty, Jen said. New York State has a lot of beautiful countryside. It's not just, yeah, New York City. Well, yeah, obviously there's New York City and then there's the whole state of New York. Yeah, we know that. Um, your mother's family has deep New York roots, Cosmic. Upstate New York is beautiful. You can see Canada. Yeah, I know. When I lived in Whitby, when I was 18 for that summer, Whitby is, oh God, what is it? Like no, Whitby is probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes drive from me. What do you think, Lorinda? You're probably closer to Whitby than I am. About 20 or 30 minutes drive from Toronto. And when I lived there this summer, while I was 18, which I regret leaving my home then because I missed a wicked summer, um, at the lake on a clear day, you can see across to the U.S., but it had to be a really clear day. You want to be in New York where Joey, Rachel, Ross, and the gang were? Jody, you live in Buffalo near Niagara Falls. It's country compared to New York City. Right? Jody, you live so close, Jody. You're like an hour and a half away. We were actually supposed to go to Niagara Falls on Monday because Ian and Johnny have like a free hotel room for one of the casinos at Niagara Falls, right? Canada side. And we were trying to figure out a day to go, but you can only go Monday to Thursday. So I'm like, well, my boss is on call all next week, so I can go. She sent me a message today saying have fun in Niagara Falls on Monday. So she still thinks I'm going. I forgot to tell her that I'm not. So anyway, I'm like, we'll go on Monday. Perfect. So that's my plan. We'll go on Monday. And then my nephew is like, no, we're not going on Monday. I'm like, well, why not? It works great for me. Ian's not working, right? Brittany can come watch the kids. The three of us can go and have fun. And he's like, because it's Valentine's Day. And I'm going, yeah, but what are you doing on Valentine's Day? He goes, Auntie, I'm not going to Niagara Falls with you and Ian on Valentine's Day. And I had no idea it was Valentine's Day. I'm like, it's just a day. It's the 14th. Even when I said to him, we'll go Monday on the 14th, it didn't hit me that it was Valentine's Day. So anyways, we're not going. So I'm like, well, I don't know when I'll be able to go again because of work. So I guess Ian and Johnny can go have fun in Niagara Falls themselves. Hold on, everybody. I'm behind. Hi, Miss Janet. Cosmic, your Dutch ancestors lived there when it was still New Amsterdam. 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah, okay. 30 to 40 minutes from me is where Whitby is. You love Whitby, Tracy said. You drive through Whitby when you come to Toronto. Someone is sending me messages. Maldives. Oh, beauty country. Hold on, everybody. Hi, sweetheart. I'm just live now. I'm going to be checking everything tomorrow morning. If you do, I'll send you a message. Sorry, everybody. Maldives is gorgeous. There's so many places in the world I'd love to visit, that it'll never happen. You want to retire in Tennessee? Ooh, was it Lorinda who said Tennessee? You have 20 years to retire, so you're stuck here for now. You're actually from Southern California, Jody? but you would never go back. Is it California you're talking about? I'm assuming CA, California. Yeah, I don't have a desire to go to California either. Never really did. Um, Other places I think in the U.S. Like I said, New Orleans, love to go. Um, Georgia, um, Tennessee, you know, Colorado. I gotta put my hair up. I'm gonna drive you nuts. But California was not really a place I wanted to go. Maybe to like San Francisco. I'd like to see San Francisco. Um, that's where the bridge is, right? Is it? San Francisco's got the Golden Gate Bridge. You know where Full House was filmed at. Was that San Francisco? San Diego, San Francisco. But like to go to Los Angeles or Hollywood, no, no desire for that. You want to visit San Diego? Hopefully next time you head to Arizona. I have a friend of mine that I grew up with, one of my best friends from home, and they live in Alberta, but they're in Arizona all the time, all the time. Like I think they're even thinking of buying a home down there. You've been to San Francisco a few times, lots to do there. Okay, so where have you been? Um, what countries, what states, provinces, whatever, where have you been in your life so far? Oh, Boston is another place I'd love to go to Boston. I'd like to visit Boston. California, you moved when you were 29. Very superficial, a lot of jerks. Your mom just moved here from San Francisco. Cali is nice to visit, but you have kids to raise and you're not raising them there. I can get that. I can totally get that. So is San Francisco, Jody, because you're from there. Um, so when we think California, we think Los Angeles, right? You know, Hollywood, stuff like that. And I know San Francisco is there and San Diego. Do they still have that mentality that a lot of people, I'm sure not everyone in California is fake, you know what I'm saying? Or that attitude that you're talking about. Um, but is it the same way all throughout that whole state? Do you feel like, I know not everybody is that way, right? There's good people and there's bad people. We all know that. But I understand what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, you know? Superficial, and there's a lot of it, right? I mean, it's LA and Hollywood. But is San Francisco that way as well, and San Diego? That's what I'm trying to say. Your son just survived the Boston blizzard. Good for him, Jen. How much snow did they get? Hawaii, you were there twice, and you traveled through most of the U.S. and most of Canada. Oh, good for you, Tracy. Cosmic, you've been to Manitoba, PEI, Nova Scotia, New York, Pennsylvania, Washington, and Arizona. Where have I been? Well, in Canada, I've been to Newfoundland, Ontario, and a short little visit to Nova Scotia, Halifax for about 3 or 4 days back in my younger years. But that's it. I haven't been anywhere else in Canada. In the U.S., we did South Carolina. We went to Myrtle Beach. We went to Florida, um, Disney, that part of Florida. That's what I meant to say. And I did a weekend in Las Vegas when I was 28, where I worked. So I didn't really do Las Vegas because, I didn't have no money. My boss paid for me to go to Las Vegas. So he took his family as a vacation, but we worked. It was only for the weekend, right? I came back on Monday. And I think, did I fly in on Friday and came back on Monday? Something like that. So he put me in the Holiday Inn, and they stayed in this beautiful hotel, and gave me enough money for food, and that was that. Um, so yeah, I didn't do no gambling. I was such a naive. I was so naive. It was in my 20s. I was the most naive 20-something-year-old you could have ever met in your life. I swear to God, I was so naive. I knew nothing about the world. I was stuck in a very gray haze. um, of just being numb. That was my 20s, just numb, gray. Um, yeah. So, and where else have I been? Jamaica and Dominican and Ireland, Dublin. And I think I haven't been anywhere else. So yeah, I need to do some traveling. We need to do some traveling. 30 plus inches of snow. Oh my good Lord, Jen. That's a lot of snow. Tracy, you were born and raised in Edmonton, and then you moved out here in 2011, and you love it here. Yeah, I absolutely love where I live. I love Toronto. I love Etobicoke. I love this area. Um, we moved, like I said, we had a house in Coburg, which is about an hour outside of Toronto, a little town. Beautiful beach, like a Florida beach, gorgeous. If you didn't know, there's a gorgeous sandy beach like you would find in Florida, an hour outside of Toronto. It's called Coburg. It's a beautiful town. And we lived there for 5 years, and I hated it. Couldn't stand it. Like this is, I love Toronto. I love Etobicoke, and I don't go downtown and do like the Toronto downtowny things or anything like that. But this is home to me. You know, I've been here longer than I was born and raised in Newfoundland, right? Although I still have that accent, it'll never leave. Florida would be the last place on earth you want to visit. I love Florida. Absolutely love Florida. Um, we've been there a couple times. I love it. It's more so in LA and Orange County. Okay, Jody. San Francisco is more down to earth people. You would recommend a vacation there. And San Diego is where you met your husband while he was stationed there in the Navy. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I'd love to go to San Francisco and San Diego. I'd like to go visit. But I never really had any, thing of wanting to go to LA. You understand about being naive? You were 17 and on your own. Oh God, Sylvie, yeah. That I can just imagine Sophie or Sylvie. And we just became stronger because of it, right? Like, that's what your life is a journey. Janet, you were out on your own when you were 17 as well. It's crazy, right? When you look back on those times and you just think, God, I was just so dumb. That's why I always say, hey, I'd love to have a time machine. I would go back in the past, but I wouldn't go back unless I know what I know. Like I have to have my wisdom that I know now and my knowledge, and then I'd go back. But I don't want to go back just being, in a haze. Tracy, you were to Coburg for the beach. You went to Wasaga Beach as well. All you do in Toronto is a downtown thingies, yeah. I find those downtown thingies are too expensive for a family. People take advantage of you when they know you're naive. Oh, for sure, Sylvie. Yep, for sure. Looking forward to doing your U.S. genealogy trek. You think you have mentioned before, but you want to live in Toronto, but your husband, oh yeah, your husband don't want to, but you want to live in Toronto. Lisa wants to, I want to live, Peggy Sue got married. Remind me again what that is. Peggy Sue got married. Cosmic. I know it's a movie, and she got married in Las Vegas or something, right? Jody, you love Canada. It's so nice there. You go to Riley's in Toronto every couple of years. Riley's is, this is how naive, I don't know. Is Riley's a pub? Because I know there's a pub in Toronto called, Riley's. The Wax Museum. Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm thinking Riley's the pub, right? Isn't that terrible? The Irish pub. But you're talking about the Wax Museum. The aquarium. Oh, yes, yes, that's very nice too. What is the Wax Museum called? The Wax Museum in Niagara Falls. Something Wax Museum. Is that Riley's as well? Ripley's. Yes. Ripley's Wax Museum. Is it? Who passes out at her high school reunion and wakes up in her last. Oh. Yes, with all her knowledge of an adult. Yeah, that's what I want. Yep. I wouldn't go back being stunned. But hey, we all have to go through those journeys, right? We are who we are today because of what we had to go through back then. It's a really good movie. Peggy Sue Got Married. What's his name in that movie? God. It's not Nick. What is that guy's name? The actor. Nicholas Cage? Yes, that's who's, okay. I know I've seen it years ago, but I can't remember it now. Oh, I got a question for you guys. So apparently they came out with the nominees for the Oscars, and I just I haven't seen any of these movies, apparently, that are nominated. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like there hasn't been a good movie in years. Anyone else feel that way? Like there hasn't been any good movies? I don't know, maybe because we have the classics, you know what I mean? I just don't feel like anything is like it was in the 80s and in the 90s and even in like the early 2000s, you know what I mean? Oh, Jen Button, thank you so much, my darling. Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jen Button. Right, Lorinda, you agree? I just feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, is like maybe all those directors are retired now or something, but like, I don't feel like there's been any brilliant actors like Tom Hanks. His movies are so good, and they're classics. Most of his movies are classics, right? Made in his prime kind of thing with amazing directors. I just don't feel like in the last 10 years we've had some great movies come out. They seem to do a lot of remakes. Yes, that's right, Lorinda. Yeah, they haven't been able to release anything since COVID. A lot of movies got postponed. I just feel like in the last 10 years, there haven't been great movies. It seems like in the 90s, in the 80s, and then I guess the early years of the 2000s, every month there seemed like, or every other month there was a great movie. Like when you watched the Oscars, you knew every movie that was, nominated kind of thing, right? Because they were such great films, you know what I mean? But now, it feels like to me in the last 10 years, because I used to watch the Oscars religiously. Even like I remember having Savannah and Madison, watching the Oscars with me. But I haven't in 10 years, maybe even 12, right? But 10 years for sure, I haven't bothered because none of the movies were, good. Don't think anything since pre-COVID. You want to see The Tragedy of Macbeth? Just came out. Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. I haven't seen that one with Tom Hanks. But yeah, like we had some great actors and actresses, and it just seems like, I don't know. Obviously, they're not getting the movies, right? They're going to the younger people like you would. And I just don't know them. You know what I mean? Like no one stands out to me kind of thing. And you think about it, I wonder if people say people our age in the 80s, when they were in their 40s and 50s, right? I wonder if they said the same thing. Like if they said, there's not any good movies out anymore, like Sinatra's gone, or maybe in the 70s they would say that, or the 60s, but look at the classics that we had in the 30s and the 40s. They're classics, right? With great actors and actresses. Yeah, I just don't feel like Hollywood is not that anymore. The Martian was amazing. Hamilton. I didn't really like Hamilton. I only watched like 30 minutes of it and I put it off. I can't remember a movie in the last 10 years that I was like, okay, this is a good movie. Like one that you would actually want to go, well, I don't know what you would buy now. I mean, what do you buy now? If you wanted to keep a movie, how do you do it? Because I mean, no one's got DVD players anymore. I mean, maybe yeah, people have DVD players, but what do they do now? You know, how do you buy movies?
You can buy it or rent it. If you buy it, it stays on your.
On your TV. Ah, so Ian said you can buy it and it just stays on your TV. And obviously you can rent movies. I know from Rogers and stuff, but okay. I guess you just, go on to Apple iPhone, Apple whatever it is, and you can buy a movie and it stays on your phone. You buy movies on Google TV, Cosmic, and it just stays on your phone then. All right, are you able then to like say if you bought a movie on your phone, can you put it over on your TV somehow? You still buy DVDs, Tracy? I don't. I think we had a DVD player. I think it's actually in my storage room. You put them on a memory stick. Okay, and then would you plug it into your computer then, Janet? Because, like, I know if I want to go on Flixtor, FLIXTOR.TO, when it's open to the public, it's great. It's fabulous. There's no ads. There's none of that crap that pops up. It's a wonderful page. You can subscribe to the page. I don't, because I'm just like, yeah, I don't need to subscribe to this page to watch a movie and TV shows when I don't really have time, right? But when the website is open to the public, they have the latest movies that came out in 3 months, and I think the latest TV shows that came out in the last 3 months. And you don't have to pay for it. Like that movie, Jen Button, that you want to watch, that's on there. But it's got to be open to the public kind of thing. You can cast it to your smart TV. Oh my God, I don't even know this. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Because I've done it. I've been watching YouTube videos, and for some reason my video would end up on my nephew's TV. And he'd be coming at me going, who is this person on my TV? So I know, yeah. And sometimes you don't even know you're doing it with your phone, and it happens. You can watch Google movies right through YouTube on TV. Okay. Computer or smart TV. You like watching extended versions and the commentaries on DVDs. I know there's cottages. I've been to cottages that still have VHSs, and I think that's kind of cool. You still have your VHS, Sylvie, and DVD, just basic cable. Your husband won't pay for any more. He's super tight with money. Honestly, one of our friends, he has this box. God, I can't remember what it's called now. So all he pays for is the internet. And so he bought this box for like a lump sum, and somebody in his building for, I think it's $30 a month, I think is what he pays for it, and his internet, and it's just him, right? Our friend we just dropped off to Trinidad. And so he's like, all in all, his internet and his TV, which he gets everything, Netflix, everything like the Hulu, every cable show we have here and all around the world. I think he pays like $30 a month for it. Like he had to buy the box, and then it's $30 a month. But you got to figure out how to use it, kind of thing. Because I'm thinking I'm going to do that. It makes so much sense. Our cable bill is like $400 a month, between $300 and $400 if the kids rent movies. That's how much our cable bill is. Isn't that insane? It's our cable and my home phone. And my home phone is only used for the buzzer code to get into my building. That's it. And that's what it is. It's between $300 and $400 a month. That's insane. You can watch whatever whenever you want. Android box. Yes, that's what it's called, Janet. An Android box. We only have internet and our Fire Stick. Now, the Fire Stick, that's the kind of like the same thing as the Android box, right, Tracy? It's the same thing. A certain amount of programming. Yeah, so Cosmic, there's a man who lives in my husband's friend's building, in Uncle's building. That's what we call him, Uncle. And that's what he does. That's his career. So Uncle pays him $30 a month, and every month he comes and does a download of whatever needs to be updated or new stuff, but every month he'll come and he'll do a little boop boop boop, and he's done, and then you're good. I had one of those boxes. I guess I had, maybe it was called an Android box, but I found that at the time the kids were smaller and they were having a hard time navigating around it all, right? But I think you just need to like have patience to navigate where to find the channels and all that there kind of stuff. But if you do, I mean, it's well worth having because it's so much cheaper. I'm going to look into that because like my kids, if they watch TV, they go out in their living room. And most things that they want to watch, they watch on their phone or their laptop anyway now, right? We have a TV in our bedroom. The kids used to have a TV, but we took theirs because ours broke. But like I said, if they watch TV, it's usually it's because the kids are watching a TV show with Ian or they're watching a movie. That's the only time you see them in the living room. I call it their daddy time because he watches things with them, right? And my nephew has his TV. So I think it'd be so much cheaper for us to get one of those boxes. You have an Android and you love it, Lorinda? So now how does it work with the programming for you and Tracy? Because like I said, I know Uncle has to get somebody to come and upload it or do whatever he's got to do, maybe every couple of months. And is that what you guys do? Good night, Miss Sylvie. Laundry time right now, and the chair you're sitting in is way too hard. Have a good week, love. Fire Sticks come preloaded where Android boxes require programming. Oh, okay. You have a Chromecast, Fire Sticks, and 2 Rokus. Tracy, your husband did something with your Fire Stick that we have so many channels and apps. There's always something to watch. And Lorinda, you got an Android and you love it. Okay. Because, you can go, like, I've been on Amazon and I've seen Fire Stick and I was going to put it on my page, but I didn't know exactly if that's what it was. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because if you type in Fire Stick on Amazon, is that all you need? Just that and the internet? And do you need someone to come and download it, or it's good to go? Because when I had my box a long time, years ago, I believe I had to go on the internet to look for a code or something, get different codes or something. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I have 2 small kids, right? Wi-Fi and Netflix, no box or other equipment needed except the smart TV. That's what we have. You update your box yourself so you don't pay anything but internet. Interesting. $65 a month for Wi-Fi and Netflix. And Netflix is going up again. Did you guys see that? It is around $40 or $50. Okay. So if I buy this Fire Stick for $40 or $50, turns your TV into so good. I have a smart TV. Hi, Jaja. How are you? Plug and go. You just connect to your internet. Okay. Oh. So you just plug it into your TV and all the channels pop up. Do I have to go on the internet and find codes or anything, or update it? And what do you get with that Fire Stick then? Do you get Netflix? Do you get channels from all over the world? Do you get like movies? Do you get sports from everywhere? Do you get pay-per-views that you don't have to pay for? Because I think I want to get one and try it in my bedroom and get used to the channels. And that's all I need. I need Ian to get used to the channels. And listen, that guy only watches TSN anyways, right? You know, well, he's got a couple of shows that he watches in the morning. God, is it on Showcase? I think he watches like, I don't know, CSI or NCIS or something like that. A couple of those shows that go back to back kind of thing. Your hubby did some, oh, where am I? You don't know what he did, Tracy. I'm going to have to look into that. I mean, it's quite ridiculous paying like $400 a month for the cable. Really, right? Home phone and cable, $400 a month. And that's what it is. It's between $300 and $400 if the girls are renting movies. That's crazy. When all you got to do is pay internet. Oh, wait. It's between $300 and $400, and that's the cable, the internet, and the home phone. Bunch of channels on the Fire Sticks. Visit a Best Buy. Okay. That's insane, right? That's what we're paying, between $300 and $400 for our internet, our cable, and our home phone. And like I said, our home phone, that is at the lowest amount of whatever, because we only use it so people can buzz up to get into our apartment. And I can't put it on my phone because my phone is always connected to work. And I can't put it on Ian's phone because what if he's at a fire call? He can't buzz somebody into the building. So that's why we're like, we'll just get a separate home phone. You know, and that's pretty much the only reason why it should ring. Now, that home phone rings and the scammers, I'm telling you, they go nuts on that phone. I see it every day, Monday to Friday. I swear to God, there's at least minimum three times a day, my phone is going to ring with somebody over across the other side of the world somewhere telling me I'm about to get arrested at least 3 times a day. Where on the TV do you plug in the Fire Stick? Asks Jaja. Yeah, so where do you plug in the Fire Stick? Is it the USB thingy around the back? You pay $65 a month for your internet and pay your Netflix. Wow. Still need to pay for the various subscriptions in addition to buying the stick, though. Okay, so the Fire Stick and the Android box, they're like the same thing, but they're not the same, right? So is there one of those boxes that's got all of those apps on it that you don't have to pay extra for? Because I know Uncle's got Netflix, and believe me, he's probably not paying for Netflix. The USB port, yeah. Fire Stick goes in an HDMI port. Janet's plugs into the port in the back, the USB one. You remember when Netflix was just DVDs and you would pick the ones you wanted and keep them, right? And when you sent them back, you can get new ones. I know, remember that? I remember when we went to South Carolina, they had this little machine, and it was a Netflix machine, and I never seen one before. You know, naive. And me and the kids were fascinated. And you just put in a number and out would pop the DV. We, you know, go watch a movie, bring it back and pop in the number and another one would pop out. That was pretty cool. Or Blockbuster, remember that? Blockbuster? Everybody loved Blockbuster. Streaming devices go into HDMI, not USB. Yeah. Because Tracy said there is a way to have different apps that you don't pay for it. You just don't know how to do it. There are YouTube videos about that. Yes, because my, like I said, my husband's best friend, that guy who, whatever, 30 bucks a month, whatever he pays, and it might even be monthly. I don't know. I have to ask him. But I know that he's got Netflix on his TV, and I know he said he don't pay for that. Whatever he pays that guy, and the guy comes in and does like an update or something every month or every 3 months, or I guess when there's something new. Or maybe he only pays the guy if there's something new that he needs to update. 30 bucks. Maybe that's the way it works. But he don't pay for Netflix, but he's got Netflix. Oh, Janet Love, I'm the same way. I am the same way. I'm clueless about it all. I got a question. Let's say you bought a movie on your phone, but then you lose your phone. It's still going to be in your Google account, right? Like, it's not just on that one place and that's it, right? All you got to do is sign into Google like you would with anything else, right? You don't lose the movie. That's what I'm saying. Unless you're stealing a service. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's stealing a service. He's getting it from somewhere. And they're upping the price of that too. Do you remember when Netflix was like, what was it, $7.99? And now the price is going up. It's going to be over 20 bucks. They have those here. They are called Redbox, and you can rent a DVD for a little over $1. Then, yeah, turn in the machine and get a new one. And not from one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Cosmic. Netflix. Yes, Netflix is going up. Oh my God. So we have Netflix. We have Disney paying for that. Oh my God. On top of cable, Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime. So it's three of them. That's going to cost about $100. Um, on top of the money that we're paying for cable. So it just makes sense for us to go and get this darn box. Like, look at all the money we would be saving. And all it is getting used to how to move it around, right? That's pretty much the only headache about that box is to be getting used to how to, what's the word I'm looking for? Navigate your way around it, right? I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to get Uncle to give me his friend's name and get it going in our bedroom first. And I'm gonna have to. That's a lot of money when you think about it. Can you get live TV with a Fire Stick? I think you can, Jaja. I think you can watch like live fights, because yeah, you can, because I know Uncle can, because we go up there and they can go when there's a live fight. What is that called? UFC. If it's a live pay-per-view, they can go up there and watch it on his TV, and they're not paying for it. That's what I'm saying. Like learning a new phone. Cable channels with the Fire Stick. I think I'm going to look into that. So there's no different. Like a Fire Stick and an Android box, it's the same. I think Uncle's got an Android box. I think that's what he's got. But it's the same, right? It's just, I guess Fire Stick is probably the name of that company. You couldn't stay away? Yes, please don't forget to hit the like button. You have an antenna that we bought from Amazon for 20 bucks, and you get all of your local channels and some cable without being subscribed to cable. Ooh, girl, you're smart. Do you remember back in when we were kids and you had those rabbit ears on those old TVs? Oh my God, that would drive me nuts having to move them freaking antennas. Oh, to try to get proper cable. Listen, when I grew up, we had two channels because we couldn't afford cable, right? And it was we had CBC and we had NTV. And those were the only two channels that we had. Your hubby is a TV guru? That's smart. So you're like saving so much money. For people who have those boxes, you're saving so much money. You have phone and internet with the Android box. You get everything. Your bill is like $200. Wow. That's insane. Android boxes are in the gray area. Oh, okay. If you already have the subscriptions, then do you still have to pay for other stuff with the Fire Stick? I don't know. If you already have the subscriptions, do you still have to pay for other stuff with the Fire Stick? Here's the thing. I think if you're afraid to get something illegally, you probably would, right? I like the gray area. I'm going into the gray, Lorinda. I'm with you. I'm with Uncle Bonnie. Because Uncle Bonnie's in the gray area. And I'm like, girl, if it's saving me money, I'm going in the gray area. I don't really think the police is going to come knock on my door. And if they do, I'll go, I didn't know. Unless they see this video and somebody tells them. Um, yeah, like that's insane, the amount of money. Like literally, when you think about it, home phone should only be like $10 a month, internet, cable, and then plus all those subscriptions that we're signed up for, Amazon Prime, Netflix, the other one, Disney. We're talking like $600 a month I'm chucking out for this stuff. That's insane. You have one antenna TV for your local and the rest smart TV with Netflix and Hulu. Cable is so expensive and we don't miss it, right, Jen Button? And that's the thing, like, I never watched TV. I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched a TV show. It's been years. Like all of those TV shows that I used to watch, every Thursday, you look forward to your TV shows kind of thing, Wednesday, Thursday, do you remember those days? I haven't done that in years. Years. If I'm watching something now, I'm binge watching a show on Netflix or Amazon or Disney. I recently discovered Disney. We've had it forever, but only recently I went on it because I thought it was all kids' movies. Or I'm watching YouTube videos, but actual sit down at TV, I never do. Ian's a TV guy. And like I said, the kids have their certain shows with their dad that they'll come and watch. And then my nephew and Ian, they're sports fiends. So like there's always some kind of a sport thing on my TV. Like right now they're watching a hockey game, right? All week it's been freaking Olympics. But yeah, they watch the TV, but yeah, it's been so long. Like, we used to have this thing where Sunday nights was The Walking Dead, and every Sunday night we sit down and get ready and watch The Walking Dead together. And then I guess throughout the 17 years there were different TV shows, different nights that's what we would watch. That's what you would do, right? You come home from work and you eat and you wait for your TV show, right? Yeah, don't do that no more. I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched a TV show with Ian. I can't remember. You used to have this small black and white TV with 13 channels, no cable. It was good right on your kitchen counter back in the good old days, right, Sylvie? And those old TVs lasted so long. Do you remember the big, oh my God, it almost looked like a dresser. The TVs were like made of wood kind of thing, like the outlining of it, right, was wood. And you can lift up the top and there was like a little storage thing there, or you had the record player. Oh my God, we used to have one that had a record player and it had that other thing, tape, not cassette tape. What were they called? I can't remember. Oh my God. Crackers. I know somebody knows. It wasn't a cassette tape. It was another kind of a tape. 8-track. Yes. So I remember this as a kid having the big old honking TV, but you would open up the top of it and there was an 8-track. There were speakers on the side or in that TV, and we would have the record player. And those they lasted a lifetime. They lasted so long. Now you get a TV, you're lucky if that thing lasts you 2 years. Because the one we had in our bedroom, which we barely watched, gone, done. It just died. Just died after, I think we had it for 3 years and it died. Things made back then were meant to last, you know? With the Fire Stick, it comes with Netflix. You just sign in if you have an account. Oh, good to know, Lorinda. Jaja, well, I mean, I already have Disney Plus and Hulu and Netflix and Amazon, so what does the Fire Stick do? Okay. Oh, so Lorinda says with the Fire Stick, it comes with Netflix, so first you're not paying for that subscription. So I'm assuming Fire Stick might have Disney Plus and Hulu as well, and maybe even Amazon. So you won't have to pay for those subscriptions. I don't know. I don't have it. Maybe somebody in the comments can let you know. There are a lot of free channels on the Fire Stick. You only have to pay for things like Netflix. Okay, hold on. But Lorena says it comes with Netflix. Android boxes is sometimes channels will vanish. Okay. A Fire Stick will allow TVs to get channels they would not have access to normally and to get a few basic TV channels if you get rid of cable. There are a lot of videos on YouTube about the Fire Stick and the apps that you can have on there. Yeah, Jaja, maybe check it out on YouTube as well. And I'm sure there's got to be a way around not having to pay for stuff. Your TV, and you were small? You had the same one, Tracy? You think your parents had it for over 20 years? I know, right? They were built to last. All the new tech plus the old tech, record player, 8-track streaming devices. Where am I? Do you remember having the 8-track player in the car? Yep. You had the same record player, Tracy said, with the 8-track that you played a lot of K-Tel tracks on. K-Tel. What is that? I don't know what K-Tel is. Washers and dryers from long ago lasted for a long time. My mom, I don't know if she still has it, but I know she did 2 years ago. Her Hoover washer. And her Hoover washer, which she absolutely, was like, the Hoover washer is the only washer that gets your whites clean. Your socks come out looking like they're brand new. Mom is like, the Hoover washer was the best. And she would take the hose, hook it up to the sink, and it was the little tiny part in the middle that you put the clothes in, and that would wash. And then she'd pour little tiny, like, pieces at a time in the spinner. And she said it was the best washer out there. It would spin where the clothes was actually almost, like, pretty much dry, and then hang it on the line, of course, because, we never had a dryer for years. Like, they have a dryer now, but she probably got a dryer maybe 5 years ago. It was always your clothes went out on the line. We had the Hoover washer, and she might still have that Hoover washer, because I know like 5 years ago she did. A couple years ago she did. But yeah, she swore by the old Hoover washer for almost 20 years. Yeah. Your hubby and you have your old reel-to-reel home movies. Oh, wow. Records, Lorinda. K-Tel. Google K-Tel. What is K-Tel? Is it a band? That you played a lot of K-Tel tracks on. Okay, I'll Google it. Jody, you had the Fire Stick and it was way too confusing for me and your husband to set it up and all the apps to get more free channels. It's really confusing. Yeah, so we had, like I said, we had one too when the kids were small, and I just didn't have time to go through it. But I don't know. I'm thinking about getting it now because it's just going to save us like $400 a month. And after a while, I think after a while, like once you get used to it, you'll know what you're doing. but it probably does take a little bit of a learning time. You watch your reel-to-reel movies every Christmas, movies of us as kids at Christmas, black and white movies. Oh, that is so cool. Nice thing about the Fire Stick is the voice search. I have that on my TV because we have Ignite, Rogers Ignite. So I do that on my remote. You're exhausted and recovering from hernia surgery. Oh, Miss Jody, I hope you're getting some TLC love. You're way too young to have a hernia, darling. It was a record label back in the day. Okay, I'm going to have to Google it. All you've been watching is the Olympics, Jaja, right? I know. You get some rest, Jody. Yeah, that's all that's been on my TV is the Olympics. But then again, I don't pay attention to it because I'm literally like my headphones are in all day long. Usually I got my two phones, so I got this phone. This is the phone that works, like where I get my calls on, my text on. My office is transferred to my cell phone, right? And then I have my phone here, and this is where I make videos on and stuff. But, all of my apps are on this phone, and, Facebook and YouTube and all that. So usually I have this phone with me because you don't know who's calling. It's not for me, it's for the office, but it's for me. But I usually always have my other phone with a set of headphones in, and I'm watching something, you know? So yeah, TVs, I haven't bothered with TVs in years, but my husband, like I said, is a TV person. He loves his TV. And tomorrow is Super Bowl. Yes, Jaja. First time in years that it's not at my house. But I did make chili for the fire hall. And I have to make a crab dip. So I'm going to be getting off now because I still have to make that crab dip so Ian can bring it off to the fire hall. And Nicoletti. Hi, Nicoletti. You just joined. I'm going to be getting off very soon, everybody. You've been listening to podcast all day. Hi, Miss Pamela. What's the schedule this week? Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. I will be live next Saturday. Ian's at work. So I'll be live next Saturday. And, hopefully I get my Ipsy Plus. I might get that. It's going to be here. It's already here in Canada. It's going through their processing. And I know they're closed on Saturday, so I'll probably get a message tomorrow saying I can pick it up. But then Ian's at work. Oh, hi, Willie. How are you? So I'm either going to get Ipsy Plus at Shipsy at the warehouse either on Monday or on Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. Because I have other things. So, like, the warehouse where I get my Ipsy bags is out by my work, right? Out by the hospital. And so I need to, like, arrange it with Ian because I'm like, okay, I have these things I have to do this week because I don't drive, right? I'm like, I have to go to the office before Thursday afternoon. I have to go pick up my bag at Shipsy, which is on the way, right? And I need to go to Square One because I want to do the Sephora mission. And I'm thinking I'm going to get the Charlotte Tilbury foundation and try that because I get reimbursed back, so why not? So I'm like, so which day? And I need to go to my doctor, which is at Jane and Finch, which is completely different direction. Like everything else is west, like driving towards Niagara Falls, but Jane and Finch is like north, right? Like that way and north kind of thing. So I'm like, which days would you like to do these things? And Ian's, like, what am I, a chauffeur? Yeah, you are a chauffeur, right? So I have to figure out when we're going to do all that. You've been listening to Here's the Thing, Alex Baldwin's podcast, listening to his old shows. Oh, interesting. Thanks for, you're gonna go get a nice shower and PJs. Perfect. Me too. Well, I gotta go make a crab dip, but I'm actually gonna go and eat my chili. Give it a taste, and hopefully it's good because it's going to the fire hall tomorrow. And what you don't want to do is send nasty food down to the fire hall because, you know, I'll be known then as the wife who can't cook, and Ian will never live it down, right? So I'm like, I hope it's good. So anyway, all right, everybody. I will see you next Saturday. Have a good week. Stay warm, stay safe, and yeah, live in the gray area. Live a little bit dangerously. Bye, everybody. Oh, and Jody, if you're still there, Jody, I feel better. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Jen Button.